Team Taser Bigfoot. I'm your host, Snowwalker. Welcome to the wilds of Maine. Now, our first 101 Sasquatch hunting tip is to beware for the behavior known as tree peeking. Sasquatches are known to go to a tree and then stop behind the tree and do this peeking behavior. The other sign that people are often looking for are either A's, where the Sasquatch will push one dead tree into another tree to make an A, multiple X's at the base of group of trees, and the nests or the huts, which strangely enough are very rarely large enough to accommodate an adult Sasquatch and provide no protection from the elements. It just looks like a beaver had a test run for his house and just built the skeleton and then gave up on it. And given the complexity of a beaver hut or even a muskrat hut, which has the brain like the size of my pinky nail, you would think that a Sasquatch with a brain larger than my whole head would build a better structure for shelter. Hell, even the gorillas and chimps that build those nests in the trees seem to be more adept at basket weaving than Sasquatch is. Now, for those of you that haven't heard about the Marble Mountain sighting, it involves a group of Boy Scouts, some group, and there was the scout leader, and he had the camera, and they get to the campsite, and there's a fire pit, but nobody's burning any fire in it. And then there's this, debris hut that's been constructed of material that was broken off, just branches. There's no machete marks or no axe marks on the wood. The wood's just fluffed up. Now, this little debris hut that they've constructed is barely large enough for one of the kids to crawl in, for starters. If someone is, right at the beginning of the video, they're talking about Sasquatch, and suddenly, they're finding footprints, and they're finding nesting sites and feeding sites and tools, and then, all of a sudden, Sasquatch steps right out in front of them, just like a person, except blurrier. I would question that. I would question the legitimacy of that video. And if Sasquatch now looks like a gibbon, how did we get a gibbon out of a gorilla, 3 times the size of a gorilla primate? It should look like baby gorillas, which are huge, massive creatures. They don't look anything at all like a gibbon. This is the type of place that you want to do your research. Just listen. I am miles from anywheres. I am miles from a snowmobile trail. If something was to happen to me out here, my body would likely never be found. And I must say that I like the fact that the Finding Bigfoot show has stepped up their game a little bit. They discredited the Salvaic Bigfoot hunter, which I thought was a hoot, because he has videos, of it's George Lucas's makeup effects from, even better than Planet of the Apes, but he's got these close-ups of, Sasquatch like this, blinking and stuff. You can't see the rest of the body, just the head. Looks really real, but the behaviors are natural. A critter that elusive would not just stick around blinking its eyeballs while you're filming it in HD. Seriously, if you are, where's the rest of the body? Where's the critter coming to the camera and leaving the camera? Where is the rest of the behavior, other than it just sitting there after you've, put on the makeup to get the blinking eyes with the fake contact lenses? Yet, even though, Matt Moneymaker and the Finding Bigfoot crew discredited the Salvaic, they confirmed the New York gibbon. So now Sasquatches are these skinny little gibbons. They're all over the place. I photographed one today. I was really lucky to get this gibbon, juvenile Sasquatch, on video. And as far as the Jacobs photographs go, Occam's razor. Do I need to say more? It's a bear baiting station. This photographs, all kinds of photographs of bears, and then you get 2 photographs of this scrawny, mangy-looking bear with its ass stuck up in the air that looks a little bit like a chimp. But I find it hard to believe that this, undercover, super disguised ninja Sasquatch pretended to be a bear, stuck in there, got 2 of his photographs taken, and then killed every bear in the county and didn't leave any evidence and slugged the bears off. Because supposedly the story is the bears never came back. You know, they never came back to the baiting station. Bears will avoid a baiting station for a lot of reasons. Like if they think there are people there. Bears are pretty stealthy too. They're not idiots. Now, without getting into a whole bunch of technical analysis, let's just think about this for a minute. Sasquatch, so rare. Undoubtedly either the rarest critter on the planet or without question the most elusive because we haven't brought one in. We have no holotype. We haven't brought in the physical evidence yet to establish the existence of Sasquatch. Why would this critter be making a debris hut in a freaking campground where you can tell that people are there all the time? Granted, something made that debris hut, but it's pretty darn easy in the springtime to find a whole bunch of broken branches, big-ass branches from the snow load, from the ice load in the forest. Wouldn't be very difficult at all to throw together a debris hut. I have built hundreds of these things. The Sasquatch, being the elusive beast that he is, the master at hiding, the master at camouflage, that he would be building these huts deep in cover, not out where people are pitching their tents. And I don't think that Sasquatch is going to stand on a ridge line with 20 people down there below him waving his hands. That just doesn't make any sense. It's in direct contrast to what we've been taught and told that Sasquatch is, and the behavior that Sasquatch exhibits is supposed to be stealthy, sleuthy, withdrawn. He wants to be in a secluded place. He doesn't want anything to do with people. See, this here's the kind of stuff that we're looking for. Trees that have fallen over, trees that have bent over. Sasquatch either grabs onto the base of them and bends them over as a sign. So any tree that's bent over or fallen over is a stick structure. Clearly, this is an X. This is an X, and we don't know why, but Sasquatches, for some reason, will put these very simple geometric structures up as signals, boundary markers, indication to territory, trying to communicate with humans, perhaps. That there were a whole pile of photographs of bears, and they just cherry-picked 2 photos out of that lineup that looked like a chimp. And the guy doing the filming's talking about Sasquatch and how, in other words, there's a little bit of foreshadowing there. They're leading you up to the fact. And then suddenly, on this far ridge, you can see this person, this figure that looks like a person walking down, and then at some point the figure's gesturing wildly and doing this kind of thing, and, you know, clearly upset that these people are in the campsite 2 miles away, and they're going on about how the thing's arms are down below its knees, which you can't really see anything. I'll provide a link down here. It's this jerky, kind of blurry, and at those distances and at that type of resolution, video cameras have artifacts. You can't really look at that and determine whether or not the arm is a certain length or not. The only team in the Northeast serious about the Sasquatch phenomenon, willing to get to the bottom of it, willing to explore all the leads. It's come to light from the video taken in New York like 8 years ago that just recently had an analysis done by the experts that were looking for gibbons. There are a lot of colorful characters in the Sasquatch Bigfoot research field, and a couple of my favorite are Dallas and Wayne. Real Bigfoot hunters, Dallas and Wayne, and they have their own YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link down here of their ongoing adventures. And they're a colorful pair, let me tell you. They're just a hoot. They're very entertaining, nice guys. Wayne reminds me a little bit of Bobo. The guy's this big burly guy. It's like a mountain goat, man. Just scampers up these super steep hills like nobody's business. And Dallas, I guess you would call him the video expert of the group. He's the one that taught me this technique, this point, and don't look enhancement technique for finding Sasquatch in the forest when they're hiding and checking on you. And I have to say, it works fantastic. So if you guys get a chance, go over there, check out their videos. Very entertaining videos. They're in Virginia or Ohio. And if you leave a comment, tell them that Snowwalker sent you. We are a no-kill zone. We do not agree with hurting. yeah, we're going to torture him. We're not torturing him. This is a little tasering. We're not waterboarding Sasquatch, okay? It's just going to taser him just enough, just to stun the great beast long enough. You just swoop in there, and, we're going to swoop in and get to what we need and tag him with a radio collar so that the parabolic, that we can follow him through the forest and duplicate our results. Duplication, the scientific method. So I dare you guys to go over to Dallas and Wayne's channel, watch one of their videos, and not be entertained. If you do that, you go over there, you're not entertained, you come back here and you tell me about it.